it's Cassie Oberg from Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, and I am here to do my YouTube video on Wednesday. So I do this every Wednesday, and for some reason, I still feel nervous right before I do it. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys in case you were ever thinking about teaching something live. I am going to teach a very fun project. One of the hardest things is coming up with content week after week, but I am blessed with a whole village of amazing women who share ideas. And so this is a fun idea from my friend Pam Wynn, who I also do Creative Cafe International with. And she said I could share it. So I'm super excited about that. So I'm just going to come up here and go over to my desktop. Okay, so we are going to do this fun little peekaboo border. Now, this is where you can do a story. For instance, on this particular page, this is our waiter who we have gotten to know over the years of going to this special place. And he shared a personal story with us this time. So it's going to go into this little peekaboo journal. And that way people can pull it out if it's somebody that I say I can share it with, and it can stay there if not. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this aside, and we're going to talk about how to do it. So if you're there, feel free to say hi. I see a few people watching with me, and so that's always super fun. So you're just going to start off. You're going to move these punches to the other side because they're in my way. So we're going to put the arm up. And I don't know if you know, but there's a little foot under here to help it stay steady. And I'm just going to cut it at 5 3/4. So it's going to come over. And see how this corner is just a little bit bunged up? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip it the other way so that I don't use that. And I'll use that on a page that I'm going to be doing a border or something, and I don't need all that paper. So I did it at 5 3/4. And now I can slide this back in. And now I need my scoring blade. Hello, thank you for joining me. So we're going to pull out the scoring blade. And we're going to bring this over, and we're going to score it at 1/2 of an inch. So 1/2 of an inch is right here. Whoops, I got to put the scoring blade in. So funny thing, if you get the scoring blade out from underneath and you don't actually put it in to the trimmer, then you're still going to cut. Fun fact, huh? Okay, so we're going to score it at 1/2 of an inch. And then we're going to flip it around. No, actually, we don't need to flip it around because we want to score it at 2 9/16. So that sounds like a funny number, but really it's not that hard. Each of these is a 1/16 of an inch. So this is 8/16, which breaks down to 1/2. So it's just one little line past the 1/2 point. And that's so that we can get the remainder of it to be in 1/2. And you'll see why we picked these fun numbers in just a little bit. Okay, so now we have this scored in our 2 spots, and we're just going to take it and we're going to fold it like this. And if you want to, you can take your multi-purpose tool and just get your fold nice and good. And this is going to be the underside. So we're not particularly worried if we tape it and you can see the taped area. So, my tape runner is a brand new one, so sometimes you just gotta take and get it to get started. Okay, what I do whenever it doesn't start like that is I take my thumbnail and I just scrape a little bit off, and then I can get it going. Okay, and then we're going to just take this down and put a little bit too much tape there, so I'll go like this, but honestly it doesn't matter because this is the underside. So there we go. Oh, here we go. Hello, Gail from New Zealand. The one thing I forgot to do was give myself an end spot. So you have to go like this and give yourself an end spot. Otherwise, when you do that peekaboo writing, it's going to pop right out, right? Okay, so now we have our little tube, which is going to make the place to hide the writing. And we are going to take out our scoring blade and put our cutting blade back in. And now we just need to cut it at 2.5 inches. This is so fun and so magical. You know, and you could make this go either direction. So if you're going to use top loading sleeves, you could make it go up and down. And if you're going to use the regular page protectors that slide over, then you want it to be horizontal. So we're just going to take this and we're going to put it into the end. And this is the reason that we chose this size. We wanted this to just be a little bit bigger than 2.5 inches. And we want it to stop where we put that tape down. And that's how that works. So that's why I opened it back up and stuck the tape in there. Hello, Mona. It's so good to see you. I am up to teaching a YouTube video. That's what I'm up to. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now we're going to decorate it, right? Because it's cute and it's very versatile. So this is really the big part that I wanted to teach, because now you have this very, very cute border. So now we're just going to take and make the pieces to go on top of it. And you can do that however you want. But if you want it to be just like the one I showed, then first we're going to start off by cutting using the Floral Peaks, which is super cute. If you have not used this before, remember that the cutting is right between these two black lines. So that's why you bring it on and you line it up to the first black line here on the side, the front of it, I guess. And then you punch, right? And you're going to slide it down. And this little triangle right here helps you line it up because it's a repeating border. And so you want to line it up with the blue over here and up against the top on the other side. But the interesting thing is, since this pattern just repeats and repeats and so cute, then you want to watch to see where you're going. So that little triangle guides you. And you want to make sure it's always up against the top on the left side and then lined up on the blue on the right side. Or if you're going the other direction, you know, reverse that. But the reason that you want to make sure is because I've seen people try to push it up against the top on the side that they're sliding to. And when they do that, they end up with a very crooked border. Okay. So now we're going to take this. And that just ended up there because I started it just a little bit to the side. And we're going to cut it. I'm going to cut it over to 2 inches. So these little floral peaks are going to be at 2 inches. And then we're going to open this up and we're going to cut it at 11.5. So just super fun and simple. And notice that I chose the side where I had left a little piece up here. That's the nice thing about scrapbooking. You know, even when you make mistakes, oftentimes the tools that you're cutting with will let you fix it pretty quick. So we're just going to take some repositionable tape and we're going to center this. So far, nothing difficult, right? Now we're going to make these cute flowers. And they are so fun, so I am going to show you how to make them. I pre-did one to put on here so I didn't have to make all of them on the video. We're going to do it like the cooking show. And we're going to take this circle with the red blade. We're going to take a scrap of white. And we're just going to cut ourselves. There's 5 on the border, and I have 1 made already. So we're just going to cut 4 more little circles. If you have not used the circle cutters or you have trouble with them, it's really not a hard tool. The thing that I find people making mistakes with is that these little nubs, they need to go into this groove. See, they need to go in there with the blade on the mat. And so if you're having trouble, flip it over and get them in there first and then put it down. And that will help you kind of get the feel for what it's supposed to be like. And then once you've done a gazillion of them, you'll be able to put them in and kind of wiggle and feel where it's supposed to be. And it'll just turn out much smoother and nicer. So I've watched people struggle with that. And so just do it upside down first so that you can get a feel for where you want it to be. Then the next thing we're going to do is make the cute little flowers. So simple. You just pick some colors that you want to use. And for each one, you need 6 petals. So we're going to come in here. Let's see. It's going to give us, look, that one's trying to hide. Come on out, petal. Okay, so there's 6 for that one. Do this one. And you can see how I just kind of take it, and if you slide it, you can see where it's no longer, and it can be really close to the one before it, and it just helps to save paper. So that, oh, that's 5. I need one more. So there's 6. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make 2 of these on camera. So I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't accidentally get tape on it. I keep getting myself new mats so that they are pretty on camera because I keep dumping them up, and it seems like no matter how hard I scrub them, they still don't look as pretty on camera. So I'm trying hard to keep this mat really nice. It doesn't matter to me if it's not perfect when I'm using it, but I like it to look really nice for you guys. So did you see I just covered that circle with repositionable tape, and then I put these 2 across from each other, and it's going to make it easier for them to line up. So we're just going to take that and fill in those spaces. Super simple. I didn't get quite enough tape right there. I don't want my flower to fall off. And if you tried to do this without using the circle, I mean, it might be possible, but just trust me, it's easier with the circle because it gives you a little base to put it on and helps you figure out the spacing. Oh, I did that one upside down. I mean, I guess that could be cute too, but I'm going to flip it. There we go. Okay. Put that one up too far. Bring it in and center it. So there. And remember, flowers are not perfect. So I'm going to take, and I'm just going to take some of the space in between here. This one is a super fun project because you can use up a lot of scraps. And I go ahead and I put my tape right on the flower, and then I just rub off around it. And then you can get a flower. And then I went ahead and I used eggplant on the last one, on that one. I'm going to use green on this one. Just something to contrast it a little bit. I could use white, but it would probably just kind of get buried in that white flower. And now the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to punch a few more of these in green. We're going to turn them into leaves. So there's 3 of those. I'm not going to do the cluster over here. I'm just going to do 1 cluster. And you can put any writing here that you want. Anything at all is good. Now I'm just going to put down. So I put my flowers down first. And then I tucked my leaves in, and that seemed to work the best. So these flowers are going to go down. And then I'm going to take these, and you're going to put the tape on, and look, you just put them in opposite. So these little petals that from the flowers get tucked in. Easy peasy. And now I have a little cluster effect going on here. Super fun, super simple. Doesn't take a lot of time, and now I have that hidden writing. And had I wanted it to go up and down for a top loading sleeve, I could go like this, and it can pull out the top. If I wanted to go on a regular page, I can put it in here, and it would slide. And you could actually do that with different widths too, if you use something different for the end of it. Lots of fun things you can do with it. Okay, I hope that you learned something and you had fun, and thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.